Tonight on a 2020 Thanksgiving.
Under the sea.
The familiar voices a little boy loved until he lost his voice, his connection to the world.
It doesn't make sense. Kids don't grow backwards.
You feel like you've lost your child.
Then found his voice again.
Oh my God, that's what he's saying.
With the help of Disney characters we all know and love.
Look for the bare necessities.
Using their voices to speak for him.
He's using these movies to interpret our world.
The astounding story of parents who found a way to talk to their shut-off son.
I grabbed the puppet.
Owen, how does it feel to be you?
Wave it, Jafar!
And that son who grew up.
Yes, Mary! Gilbert Gottfried!
And found a way to talk to the world.
What was Mufasa teaching Simba?
Now spreading his message on the radio.
My name is DJ Animator.
And in a new movie.
Please welcome Owen Susskind.
That your life can be animated, no matter how it starts.
You're the greatest. I am the greatest.
You are the greatest.
Finding Owen, a boy's story.
Hello, everyone. I'm David Muir, and happy Thanksgiving.
I'm Elizabeth Vargas. While so many of you are still gathered together with your families right now, the story of one family giving thanks for a miracle, and the movies. How they say characters in Disney movies, our parent company, spoke to their little boy, and they say helped him to speak, literally.
Jafar to Iago, Ursula to Mufasa. And now you can add the name Owen to those unforgettable characters. His story is told in the award-winning film Life Animated, an Oscar hopeful for Best Documentary. And it has something to say about every family, about never giving up. And here tonight, Deborah Roberts.
Daddy and Owen fighting with swords in the leaves.
A dad and son playing make-believe in a Massachusetts suburb.
It's a video like every family has a zillion of at this point. Leafy backyard, it's autumn. We're running in the crunching leaves.
A treasured moment in time. A backyard recreation that appears unremarkable.
Oh, thank you.
We're doing a sword fight, Peter Pan sword fight.
Oh, who are you?
I'm Peter Pan, and you?
Oh, I'm Captain Hook, you're Peter Pan. Okay, come on, man. Oh, no.
And it was really a glimpse of a life that would soon change and vanish.
Ron and Cornelia Susskind are journalists raising two boys, 5-year-old Walt.
You want to say hi to Mommy?
Hi, Mom.
And younger brother Owen.
Say nighty-night.
Night.
In the early days, we lived on what we now look back on, we called the continent normal.
It was just perfect. Walter, incredibly spirited child from the start. And then Owen, this beautiful curly boy, you know, just two really great kids. Owen was easy as pie, just gentle, happy. He was interacting, speaking completely normally. You know, this is my crib. This is Walter's big boy bed.
I still can't watch.
You still can't watch it?
He had a few hundred words, his usual 2.5-year-old vocabulary.
Is this a house?
Yeah, this is a house.
He could say what he wanted, I love you, let's get ice cream, where are my Ninja Turtles?
Then, 3 months after that backyard sword fight, a sudden and seismic shift. Owen's words began disappearing at an alarming rate.
Cornelia says something isn't right with Owen. She says he's not talking. And I'm noticing it too. And then she says he won't look at you.
And I actually thought that he was having a hearing issue because you'd say, Owen, and he wouldn't turn and look at you.
Owen! You want to give Owen a hug?
In their home movies, you see, he's disconnected.
His motor skills seem to have gone haywire. You know, he's walking around like someone with their eyes closed. It doesn't make sense. Kids don't grow backwards.
Worried, they take Owen to a specialist, a scene now seared in their memory, brought to life in these illustrations in the film documenting the family's journey, Life Animated.
She has us stand in a long hallway. I'm to let him walk from me to Cornelia. I remember kneeling down next to Owen and saying, Hey, buddy, listen, just walk like you used to walk, okay? And then I let go of him, and, you know, he just weaves down the hall.
I remember literally just like holding him in a bear hug and just thinking, you know, I'm just going to hold you so tight and love you so much that whatever is going on will go away.
And then the doctor sits us down, and she says, let me explain this to you. This is called autism.
We didn't hear anything she said after she said that word.
It's 1994. We know what everyone knows at that point. We know Rain Man.
Yeah, flying's very dangerous. 1987, there were 30 airline accidents, 211 were fatalities, and 231 were definite passengers.
You're telling me my son is like Dustin Hoffman in that movie? That can't be. And her response is maybe, maybe not. Many of them never get their speech back.
We just couldn't possibly comprehend that this could be Owen and this could be his future.
We're looking at that video like we're looking for clues to a kidnapping. Where did he go?
Walt, 3 years older than Owen, is baffled by the change in his brother.
All of a sudden, my pretty conventional 2.5-year-old brother, who I'd play around with, kind of just disappeared. It was scary.
You feel like you've lost your child. When you can't get them to smile when you say something or to respond when you say, I love you, that doesn't leave you with a lot.
It's hard to live without hope. It's not natural, in fact.
Look what we have here. What is this, Owen?
For the next year, intensive speech and language therapy becomes Owen's full-time world.
Stop sillies.
But he remains silent.
Those few hundred words, we're down to a single word, juice. One word. Now, Cornelia thinks he wants more juice because he's saying juicervos over the last couple of months. All right, juicervos, juicervos. She says, oh, he wants more juice, doesn't want the juice.
Owen had always enjoyed Disney movies, like The Lion King.
It means no worries for the rest of your day.
But now they're his only comfort.
He would calm down during the movies, so that was our little refuge.
Hakuna Matata.
That was really the only time we would be together.
I want to be where the people are.
Then one day during a family viewing of The Little Mermaid, a movie they watch over and over again, a revelation. Owen's repetition of the word juice suddenly makes sense.
It's the moment where Ariel realizes she needs to become human.
Can you do that?
And she makes her deal with Ursula the Sea Witch. The key moment of the movie. And Ursula says, it won't cost you much, just your voice.
It won't cost much, just your voice.
And Owen rewinds.
Just your voice.
Third rewind, fourth rewind.
Just your voice.
Cornelia says, it's not juice. I said, but she says it's not juice, it's just.
I thought, oh my God, that's what he's saying. He's saying, just your voice.
Just your voice.
Oh my God, I grab Owen, just your voice. And he says, juicervos, juicervos, juicervos. And it's the first time he looks at me in a year. And Walt starts jumping into bed. Owen's talking again. And Cornelia begins to cry, saying he's still in there.
Ron's convinced his vanished boy is reemerging.
We go to the doctor the next day, and he's like, you're probably not going to like this. Have a seat. We call this echolalia. Is that what I think it means? She's like, kind of. Echo. And I'm like, you mean like a parrot? He's like, kind of.
And the doctor seems prophetic. Over the next 3 years, Owen barely speaks. Then he defies the medical prediction. It's Walter's 9th birthday. Owen is 6.
We were cleaning up, and Walt was hanging out in the backyard and kind of down in the dumps.
And then Owen follows us into the kitchen. And he says, Walter doesn't want to grow up like Mowgli or Peter Pan. I don't know if he runs. It was like a thunderbolt went through the kitchen. Cornelia's like, well, what is that? What just happened?
Wow, what? What did he just say? You know, he actually noticed something about Walter, and he is able to verbalize that to us.
I mean, it was not only his first sentence, it was a big sentence and a complex sentence, and actually an insight that we ourselves did not have about Walter.
It was enormous. You know, it was a complete changing of the telescope, really.
He's using these movies to interpret our world, the bigger world. So at that point, we just are giddy. And Cornelia, after several hours of this conversation in the kitchen, says, find a way back in. Find a way.
Next.
I grab the puppet, and I say to him in Gilbert Gottfried's voice,
Owen, how does it feel to be you?
Finding Owen. How does a puppet show crack the code?
It's our first conversation since he's 2 years old.
Owen Suskind's brother Walt is celebrating his 9th birthday, and it's brought the best gift the family could imagine. 6-year-old Owen, trapped in silence by his autism, finally speaks.
That was really a huge moment of revelation.
Owen compares his brother Walt to Peter Pan, a sudden glimpse into the mystery of his mind.
I have to grow up tomorrow.
Grow up?
Could Disney movies be the code breaker? The key to communicating with Owen? Ron has an epiphany.
I go up to the bedroom, and then I see on the floor next to the bed is a puppet. It's Iago, the evil sidekick to the villain Jafar in Aladdin.
Jafar, get a grip!
So I crawl across the rug as quietly as I can. I don't want him to look at me. And I throw the bedspread over my head. I grab the puppet. I push the puppet up through the bedspread. And I say to him in Gilbert Gottfried's voice,
Owen, how does it feel to be you?
And Owen turns to the puppet like he's bumping into an old friend. He goes, not good. I'm lonely and I have no friends. And then we talk. It's Iago and Owen. It's our first conversation since he's 2 years old. It's like Mozart. I throw over the bedspread. I'm like, we're speaking in Disney dialogue. I hug Owen. I run down. I hug Cornelia.
That bedside discovery launches an experiment, what Ron calls the basement sessions. Every night, the family gathers to watch and reenact Disney scenes, like from The Jungle Book.
Wherever I wander, wherever I roam.
Cornelia and I basically get PhDs in Disney.
We were jumping into his language and his world, going in to where he was, rather than trying to bring him out to where we were.
Ron, now a Pulitzer Prize-winning Wall Street Journal reporter, begins living what he calls a double life, interviewing big names by day, imitating cartoon characters by night. They soon discover Owen has memorized dozens of Disney movies, and not only knows the lines, he's using the film to teach himself about life.
He started to use the movies as a kind of mirror to understand his life. Hercules for not giving up.
You've got to swear she'll be safe from any harm.
A Jungle Book for making friends.
Good old Papa Bear.
Pinocchio for what it feels like to be a real boy.
You are a real boy.
Owen's at a school for children with learning disabilities. His language skills are improving.
What is it, O?
It's a bus game. Yeah. Another present?
And soon, his art skills, too. By age 11, 5 years after uttering that first sentence at Walt's party, Owen's spending hours immersed in animation in a new way, drawing. When Ron stumbles upon his sketch pad, he begins to understand Owen's view of himself.
As I flip through the pages, I see there's 100 sidekicks. No heroes. The last 2 pages, he writes 2 things. I am the protector of the sidekicks. And on the last page, he writes, no sidekick gets left behind.
And for every sidekick, there's a hero. For Owen, it's his brother Walt, a student body president on the football team and popular.
Like any big brother, you want to be his protector, you want to be his role model.
Walt's rites of passage become a roadmap for Owen. When Walt celebrates his bar mitzvah, Owen takes notice.
And as the age approached, Owen said, when is my bar mitzvah? I never thought, okay, Walter's having a bar mitzvah, Owen will have a bar mitzvah. Why would I put him through all of this? We had enough trouble just getting through day to day.
It would be a life-changing event. The years of therapy, Disney movies and otherwise, have paid off.
Shabbat Shalom.
Owen wrote the sermon himself.
Sometimes people are scared of people who are not like them. They can be mean and ignore them sometimes. We should never take advantage of another person's weakness.
I would say that Owen's bar mitzvah day was the proudest day of his life.
God gave me strength, courage, and a big heart.
He was bursting, just blew everybody away.
Take a look at all the faces beaming at you. Take that snapshot with you every day from now on.
Let's hear it for the star of the show. And up we go.
The message of acceptance that Owen has shared with his temple, he wants to share with the world.
He said to us, I really want people to know what people like me with autism are, that we're just like them. He, of course, said, you know, I'm a diamond in the rough.
My diamond in the rough.
An unpolished gem from Aladdin.
By now, Ron's written 5 best-selling books about education, politics, the economy. But now he decides to share the story of Owen in a book he calls Life Animated. Then, Academy Award-winning filmmaker Roger Ross Williams takes notice.
I really wanted to tell the story of the outsiders. And I really wanted to tell the story of people like Owen who people look past.
Next, meet grown-up Owen today.
My name is Owen Susskind.
Proud of you, buddy.
Living it up
Iago.
with his Disney heroes.
What if you were the job husband?
And finding love. Stay with us.
Owen was about to go through this really transformative year of his life. He was about to graduate from school, he had fallen in love, and he was about to become independent. So I was going to follow Owen and hit these moments in his life that are universal.
Universal moment number 1, boy meets girl. Owen finds love at his school for special needs, surprising his family.
Seeing Owen in what he calls a love relationship was the single most joyous thing of my life.
These are for you.
Thank you, Owen.
You're so welcome.
They are very attentive to each other for a good long time in the relationship. And it's a time of joy.
I also have this necklace for you, too.
Thanks, Emily.
It's beautiful. It's romance. I mean, you know, Owen is getting advice from Walter, a lot of advice from Walter at this point.
Yeah.
Even basic things like, here, when you're having this conversation, make sure to ask her, like, what she's interested in, or, you know, this might be a good present, or here's a good date idea. Pretty serious thing, a girlfriend in 3 years, you know.
Yeah, it is pretty serious.
You've had a class on this at school, right? Have you thought about those things?
Sometimes I have.
How does it make you feel?
It makes me feel a little nervous and a little excited. Emily is wonderful and cute and adorable and sweet, soft, and gentle.
Seems Owen has his future all mapped out.
When I move into my apartment, Emily will move into the apartment above me and we'll be neighbors in love.
The man capturing these moments, director Roger Ross Williams, wants his film to be an honest portrayal of Owen. But behind the scenes, he's forced to be honest with himself.
I didn't know anything about autism. To be honest, I was uncomfortable in the beginning around Owen. I didn't know how to behave. I was like everyone else in the world.
But over time, some things come into focus for the filmmaker.
That was the first stereotype that sort of got broken down for me, because I was like, huh, people with autism actually fall in love and have relationships.
Owen met his first love at Disney Club, a group he created for classmates who share a love of Disney to discuss their feelings.
He lives in you.
What was Mufasa teaching Simba? Jessica?
The club even has an occasional star drop in, like Jonathan Freeman, the voice of Jafar in Disney's Aladdin.
Your fathers charged me with keeping peace in Agrabah. The boy was a criminal.
Jonathan and Owen take center stage to run a few lines together.
Ready.
Okay.
Oh, wait a minute, Jafar. What if you were the job husband?
But the two are quickly upstaged by another familiar voice.
The idea has merit.
Yes, Merrick! Gilbert Gottfried!
The surprise guest, Gilbert Gottfried, brings down the house.
I just don't believe it! We're never gonna get a hold of that stupid plan!
It's graduation day on the Cape, and Owen Susskind has a cheering section worthy of the Red Sox.
Every single member of our family came to that graduation. It was an extraordinary day. It really was.
Owen Harry Susskind from Cambridge, Massachusetts.
And there he was, with this mortarboard on, and holding up his arms, saying, "I made it."
I'm so proud of you. You're the greatest.
I am the greatest.
You are the greatest.
And that was, I think, maybe the most beautiful part of that day. The pride he felt. Look at me. Look at what I've done.
Here we are, Owen.
Yes, here we are.
Months later, another first, when Owen moves into his own apartment. Taking up residence here in a supported community, but living on his own in a condo. And just as he imagined, his dream girl is living right upstairs.
In a million years, I would never have imagined that Owen would be where he is today. Never.
A new home.
Goodbye, Mom.
And all of a sudden, it's the moment of letting go. And then we say, see ya. I love you. Have a good night. Call us tomorrow. And we left. And Cornelia and I sat in the car and said, oh, wow. That moment of release and exhilaration and terror all at the same time.
Afterwards, the documentary cameras keep rolling. Like most nights, Owen picks a movie to watch. On the first night of his independence, he chooses Bambi.
Bambi, quick.
Hunters are in the forest chasing Bambi and his mother gets shot.
I didn't see that until I was sitting in an audience at Sundance at the premiere. So there I am sitting with 800 people around me, and I'm seeing Owen's first night on his own and the movie that he chose, and it just blew my mind. I think he chose Bambi because he was losing his mother. That really tore my heart out.
28-year-old Walt also surprises his mother, revealing his deepest feelings about becoming the future caretaker of his younger brother.
It'll be just me. And I'll be ready. I've been getting ready my whole life, but it can kind of be overwhelming to think about. Yeah, I can keep you up at night.
Those were feelings that Walter never shared with us. Never.
Run upfield, run. Owen, go!
That's his life. That has been his life. It's very hard for us to hear, but it's true.
It's a little different, I feel like, for me as a brother, because in some ways, I feel like a brother. In some ways, I feel like his parent.
Proud of you, buddy.
I did great.
What role will the big brother play next when the phone rings and the news is not good?
Emily broke up with Owen.
Hey!
When we return.
This is driving me crazy.
Owen's brother Walter is being filmed for the documentary when the phone rings.
I just got a call. Emily broke up with Owen. There was a meeting with all the caseworkers today. So basically the caseworkers told Owen that it was over with Emily in the room. Sounds bad.
Having him find someone to have a relationship with was the most joyous thing, and having him lose that was the hardest thing.
The cause of the breakup, the same as so many others.
Emily gave these reasons, like 5 points about Owen being too close and needing space and everything else, so...
Hi, Emily. Emily? Good luck, Emily! Yeah, Emily.
At least I waved to her.
Hi, honey.
Mom,
Yes, sweetie.
why is life so full of unfair pain and tragedy?
Oh, and it's just the way life is. That's the way life has always been and will always be. We have incredibly joyous times.
Yeah.
And relaxing times, but we also have sad times and painful times.
I can't, but it's not fair.
I know, honey. So much things that happen in life aren't fair. So many things.
The young man who runs the Disney Club, now a member of a much bigger club, the Broken Heart Society, and it hurts.
They were living on top of each other too, mind you, which was complicated. Emily was living above Owen.
He could hear her walking back and forth, and he would just be looking at the ceiling. And every single time someone would come down the hall and open the front door, he'd run to the door and open and go, Emily? It was painful to see him in so much pain. As a filmmaker, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know whether to keep going or whether to stop filming. Many times I was in tears with him because he would go to his bedroom and he would watch the saddest scenes he could summon up from Disney films. And he would watch them over and over again. And that's how he processed it. That's how he dealt with his pain.
What's the saying? Boy loves girl, boy loses girl, boy gets girl back in the end.
Boy finds another girl.
But this is driving me crazy. Why did this have to happen to make my life sad forever?
In the film, we watch Owen try to make sense of his heartache by putting pencil to paper.
I created Fuzzbutch, who is a villain in the land of the lost sidekicks. Fuzzbutch's evil powers are to blow fog into people's head, to make the world look like a weird place to them and make them look sad.
Once again, illustrations and animations help Owen navigate his way through a rough reality. And today, the documentary team follows him as he's about to meet some of the legends whose famous characters opened up his world.
Owen!
Eric Goldberg, lead animator for Genie in Aladdin, guides the way. Down this hallowed hall, some of Disney's finest animators.
Owen knows everything they've ever done, every character they worked on.
Hi, how are you?
Though Owen sees himself as a sidekick, he gets a hero's welcome from the team.
Nice to meet you. Well, first off, the Disney animators are just giddy. They're like, Owen knows our work better than we do.
He's an artist, you know, as good as many. He can sit down and draw most all the characters better than I can.
And that's what they love about him. Like, look what he's doing there. That's a little more vivid. And so that's Owen's life. And we hope, and he hopes, that someday that'll be a part of what he does.
But until that day comes, Owen Susskind is on the clock just like the rest of us.
No! Just gonna shower and brush my teeth, okay? My lunch is all set, ready to go. I'm ready.
He holds down 2 part-time jobs. One, no surprise, at a movie theater. Another at a Toys R Us.
90.7 WKKL.
And once a week, he's a DJ at a community college radio station.
My name is DJ Animator, and you're listening to The Disney Show.
DJ Animator. playing music in the key of dreams.
Now here's Soon You'll Come Home to My Heart from All Dogs Go to Heaven on 90.7. This here is my kitchen.
With some supervision, he makes his own meals. Calories he burns off at the local Y.
It's cold.
With a challenging routine of laps.
Just gonna take a breath, okay?
There, Owen has a comforting group of friends, reassuring him about something that's been bothering him since his breakup, his prospects for finding a new love.
He's Cape Cod's most eligible bachelor.
No matter what, there will be someone out there for me.
There will definitely be someone out there for you, there's no question.
And maybe I can visit that person. She can come visit me.
Absolutely.
That I don't see every day, just some days and some weekends. And besides, I'm being filmed.
I could see
and they'll
that.
know I'm available.
And they'll know you're available.
Next, hitting the red carpet.
Owen is running down the aisle, high-fiving people as he takes the stage. People are in tears, they're screaming out his name.
The celebrity of Owen, when we return. It's the last place the Susskind's expected to find themselves, the red carpet.
Please welcome to the stage, Owen Susskind.
But that's where Owen and his family are spending much of their time. Their new film, Life Animated, premiered this year and is playing at festivals around the country and the world. The magic carpet of animated movies and the documentary are carrying Owen farther into the world than his family ever dreamed.
The way people see those with autism is that they don't want to be around other people. That's wrong.
The Owen effect is extraordinary.
So happy that
People are in tears, they're screaming out his name. He relishes his place in the spotlight.
Yeah! Just splat!
Sometimes he's front and center with notable friends from the animated world. His old pal, Gilbert Gottfried.
You marry the princess, and then you become the sultan.
I become sultan. The idea has merit.
He actually knows it a hell of a lot better than I do.
And Paige O'Hara, that voice of Belle from Beauty and the Beast.
If only I could see my father again.
Here at the Virginia Film Festival.
It's
a pleasure to meet you.
You are so wonderful.
Oscar-winning composer of Little Mermaid and many other classics, Alan Menken, happy to simply accompany his friend on the keyboard.
Under the sea. Under the sea.
What do you want people to learn about you, Owen, and your life by watching the film? What do you hope other people will learn?
Understand me.
Understand what?
Understand my way in the world.
How many people here like Disney? Show of hands.
I love Disney!
At UVA, Owen and his dad also meet with students studying autism and a few nonverbal people with autism from the community.
It's great to meet you.
What's your name?
I'm Ron.
Using a letterboard, a student joins Owen's quest to not be forgotten.
I'm inspired to know new friends and advocates.
I'm glad to be your new friend, Juan.
We feel no autistic should be left behind. Let's hear it for that.
That's something that everybody wants. And Owen says that as so many of the Spectrum kids I talk to and adults say it. I want to be out there. I want a life so much like the life you're living or the one you want. So that was always our challenge.
It's become their mission, bringing awareness to people who are all too often overlooked.
Cornelia and I would say to each other, who decides what the meaningful life is? Because I can't count the number of times when people would look at our son and say, that's not a meaningful life. Who decides that? Who decides what the meaningful life is? He's asked that now. He says, I do. And this life I live is meaningful. Let me show you how.
Ron is now working to help other families.
Some of the parents are going, how do I do what you did? Look, you know, I don't have a Pulitzer Prize. My wife works out of the home, and I can't spend 10 years in the basement watching Disney.
While there's no cure for autism, Ron says their experience with Owen suggests there may be a way to reach people with autism through their obsessions or affinities.
Then we saw there are many affinities. There are kids who are Harry Potter kids and Star Wars kids, dinosaur kids.
Yeah, I know a boy who's obsessed with dinosaurs.
They're everywhere.
Ron's created technology looking at ways those affinities can open the door to communication for other children silenced by autism, using movies as a launching pad to spark conversation.
Want to watch a funny video?
Yeah, I do.
Have you ever been afraid and wanted to be alone?
Sometimes.
Why?
Because I have low self-esteem and autism.
Autism researcher Kirsten Birdwell with Harvard Medical School and Massachusetts General Hospital is now studying this theory that affinities can be therapy.
If it works for families, and if families have an experience with it that is positive, who are we as professionals to really not want to look into that and not want to explore it?
Can you look at the Ratatouille teaser trailer?
No such thing as perfection. Autism is a way of being. It's not something to be fixed. It's just the idea of recognizing the joy in your child and following that joy and respecting your child for who they are and for what their interests and talents and passions are.
Still ahead, a milestone for the Susskind family and a surprise. Stay with us.
We're about to surprise Dad for his birthday.
This week, Cornelia and the boys threw a surprise party for the special man in their lives.
Surprise! Happy birthday, Dad!
There's cake and candles.
Happy birthday, dear Dad. Happy birthday to you.
Okay, ready? We'll do it together. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
But also a flickering concern.
You both are still young. Nexie, you're still young?
We are so young.
Nexie, you're still young?
So still young.
A reminder that with each passing year, Owen's parents are growing older.
Do you want to do it yourself? Didn't Walter teach you how to do this?
Can you help me?
A reality for which they constantly prepare him.
Okay, I'm not always going to be here to do your tie.
I know.
We have talked to him about our life and how life unfolds, and we may not always be here for him, and we are going to help him prepare for a time when we're not.
For Owen, Disney helps him decipher this lesson too. A favorite scene from The Lion King offers comfort.
Simba says, we'll always be friends, right, Dad?
Right. And we'll always be together, right?
And Mufasa says, Simba, let me tell you what my father once told me.
Look at the stars. The
Great kings of the past look down upon us from those stars.
So whenever you feel low,
just remember that those kings will always be there to guide you.
And so will I. There will be a time up ahead when we'll be gone. He will not only look at the stars, he will hear in his head the voices of all of the characters he's embraced.
We wouldn't have got anywhere if it weren't for you, Dad.
That has helped him live. They've helped him make his way in the world. And he will remember us. Precisely. Our voices, our faces, our words, and our love.
Hey, give me a hug, Mug.
See, Dad? Things are really all's right with the world, and good things will come my way.
All's right with the world.
Ha!
Incredible life lessons from the movies.
And one extraordinary family story. And that is our report tonight on 2020. Thanks for watching. I'm David Muir.
And I'm Elizabeth Vargas. We hope you continue to have a wonderful Thanksgiving weekend with your loved ones. For all of us here at 2020 and ABC News, have a great night.